enough yapping. I want to head into her album. Give me just a second. I'm going to open that up. And then, like I said, next stream we're going to do Kelsey, Mimi, and Alessia Cara, maybe. All right. So, like I said, 18 songs, 1 hour and 6 minutes. That is one long album. Just fair warning, if I do have any issues when it comes to the live stream and copyright, I'll try to finish off the song anyway, and then I'll just wait until I come back to be able to give my comments and whatnot, because I don't want any issues. In the editing process, it becomes like tedious to like play around with. But yeah, okay. So I need to get emotionally prepared. Tissues. I love that my Streamlabs just kicked in with my Twitch warning. Oh, that's great. Okay, cool. Halsey's album. Let's go. Only Living Girl in LA.
I'm the only girl alive in LA County. I'm the only one who sees. I wake up every day in some new kind of suffering.
Ooh.
I've never known a day of peace. I wonder if I ever left behind my body. Do you think they'd laugh at how I died?
Yikes.
Take a photo of my family in the lobby. The ceremony's small and silent. 'Cause I don't know if I could sell out my own funeral.
Well,
not at this point in time.
Yikes, okay.
And if I ever try to leave behind my body, at least I know it was never mine. It was never mine. It was never mine.
Whoa.
It was never mine.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
I'm the only girl alive in New York City. I left my wallet on the train.
Okay, this is kind of the throwback to the beginning of the career for sure. She was in New York at the beginning.
Driver's license. I guess that means I have no name. And I could run away to somewhere on the West Coast and finally be a real life girl. They'll take my organs and they'll hang me from a bedpost, saying I was too soft for this world.
Yikes,
They'd be
okay.
right, because quite frankly, to be alive, it shouldn't kill me every day the way it does. I don't know what I did to have this fate. I'm drenched in it, and I can't even run from what I know.
Where's this heading
Special
sonically?
talent isn't writing, it's not singing.
I thought it was going somewhere. Hold on.
Feeling everything that everyone alive feels every day. Feels every day. Feels every day.
Okay.
Feels every day. I think I'm special 'cause I cut myself wide open. As if it's honorable to bleed. But I'm not lucky and I know I keep spinning without me.
I have thoughts. I really have a couple thoughts we're gonna have to talk about after.
Told my mother I would die by 27. And in a way I sorta did.
Ooh, okay.
This thing I love has grown demanding and obsessive. And it wants more than I can give, than I can give, than I can give. Than I can give. Well, I'm the only girl alive in LA County. I've never known a day of peace. I wake up every day.
I gotta say, this is a very, very long intro track for an album. I've never seen this like that in recent times.
And it's just me. It's just me. It's just me.
Whoa. Okay. Whoa. What? Okay. Whoa. Before we head into the next track, oh my God, I have a lot to say. Okay, let me just go back to the lyrics. So, this in its context is definitely a song where you are, well, Halsey is in the present, then goes back into the past at the beginning of her career, and then goes or comes back into the present in LA. And like there's like two lines or two different directions or takes on the parts where she's in LA. When she's referring to like she's the only girl alive, there's a reference to the people in Hollywood and how fake people can be. So there's like the materialistic side of like artistry and music and you know the industry and things like that. And there's also obviously the her own pain as to like what she was going through in the recent times, sickness, health, etc. And then we find that again at the end of the song where the production was really kind of like a reflection, in my opinion, that's my take on it, kind of the agony, the fighting, and the restlessness of whatever like challenges I'm assuming she's going to face in the album or talk about at least in the album. So it's all the like I could almost see like Halsey hitting a wall at the end of the like to the pattern of the drums at the end of the song, because it's like her fighting and trying to survive and the anger of like constantly being in a survival mode. And how it becomes like your brain becomes glitchy from being in that mode all the time and how unhealthy that is. So this is really setting the tone for an interesting album. This is wild to me. And sonically, I gotta say, it did remind me a little bit of like the early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s, like rock pop. I want to say like the beginning of Simple Plan, Avril Lavigne type of like sound-ish. Obviously, there's a lot of different influences that come into play, but like, you know, from the basis of the song, sort of like that direction, I would say. yeah, that's definitely my take on it. Okay, chat. What are you guys saying? Oh, hold on a minute. Okay, we're also getting a deluxe. Ooh, we don't know yet. Like, so we are, or we are? We don't know. We are. I'm confused. I love Halsey. You push the song length limit. Definitely, that's a very long intro track. She was great at her recent concert. I wish I went. I've never seen her in concert. She was supposed to come into Montreal, and I think she canceled or something like that. There was a technical issue. I think Halsey's lyrical ability has been underrated for so long. Could not agree more. She's a great songwriter. Okay, give me a second because I'm already starting to like lose my voice. I haven't listened to Halsey's new album, so let's see. Wow, you're really at the right place for that because we're going to listen to that together. Halsey Street in New York is where she got her name. Yeah, and it's, how's it called? An anagram of her name, Ashley. And that's how, like, being on that street and the fact that it's an anagram were the two combining factors that made her choose this name as an artist. I can't wait for her tour. Same. Can't wait for her to announce it. The Burden of an Empath. Is that... What? Is that a song title? I think that could be a song title. Or is it not? No. Okay. So I'm a little curious what that meant. I interpret those outros as her breaking... Yeah, definitely breaking down. Yeah, I agree. Let's said that. To think of this as track 0, like some sort of prologue of an album, 100%. That definitely sounds like it. It's really just the context of the album, which is super important. She's dropping a bonus songs on her tour. I know I saw, and I don't typically, I mean, that's horrible, I should, but I don't buy albums, so I don't know if I'll be covering that today. We're getting in the Lux, we just don't know when it's coming yet. Gotcha. And that's Ender yelling, let's go. Yeah, I figured that it would be Ender, her child. So, yeah. Anyway, that's a great track. Like story-wise, amazing track. Sound-wise, it's not necessarily the most up my alley personally, but production-wise, like production value, extremely high. I really appreciate it for that. All right, so first track, well, technically track 0 is done. Let's head into Ego, which was the latest single to come out that I haven't listened yet. So, here we go.
I'm caught up in the everyday trend, tied up by invisible thread, walking down a razor thin edge, and I wake up tired, think I'm better off dead. Been a few months since I crossed over state lines, talk to my mom, fake smiles over FaceTime, drink all night till I can't walk a straight line, feel so low but I'm high at the same time, I can't keep my feet on the ground.
Ooh.
And I'm nervous what you'll think of me now. I'm hoping that someone comes around and helps me figure it out.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
I think that I should try to kill my ego, 'cause if I don't, my ego might kill me.
Okay.
But somehow lately I'm acting like a fucking baby. I'm not as happy as I seem.
Yeah.
Still a little kid that can't make friends. Wanna be invited but I won't attend. I've been having bad dreams, my career could end because I slip up when I should've played pretend. Turned 18 and I left the city. I said I wanna be cool, I don't wanna be pretty. Voices all came crashing down and said you're too nice to run this town. I can't keep my feet on the ground. And
Whoa.
I what you'll think of me now. I'm hoping that someone comes around and helps me figure it out.
I love this sound. 100%.
the beginning when it all felt right. A rooftop, Lower East Side, I'm singing. Didn't give a fuck if I was winning. It's all done now, so who am I kidding?
Yeah.
Doing way worse than I'm admitting. I think that I should try to kill my ego. 'Cause if I don't, my ego might kill me. I'm all grown up, but somehow lately I'm acting like a fucking baby. I'm really not as happy as I seem. But nothing's as it seems. Yeah,
I mean, production is great.
And I'm all grown up, but somehow lately I'm acting like a fucking baby. I'm really not that happy being me.
You know what? Okay, I'm going to jump into something very theoretical for a second here, so bear with me. Don't get confused. Don't get lost. If you do, let me know. I'll try to re-explain it, or maybe I'll just give up. But, you know, like, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So it places, like, different types of needs on different levels, you know, starting with the very basic needs at the beginning of it. And you cannot be, I guess, fulfilled by other things in life, other needs that supersede the basic levels or the levels below, as long as you don't fulfill those. And the reason why I'm saying this is because when you're unhappy in your life, when you're not fulfilled health-wise, when you're not fulfilled, like, mental health-wise as well, food, like, just the basic needs, you cannot be fulfilled by other things that are on higher levels than that, such as, like, social validity, belongings that you have around you. Like, you could literally spend so much money on everything around you, and, like, it's not going to work because your basic needs are not fulfilled. So this song is really, like, representative of that to a certain extent, where obviously we know her struggles, we know what she's been going through in the last few years. She was in a place of being unhappy, and in the process of trying to discover why she's being unhappy, you have to start with the symptoms. You cannot figure out necessarily the cause right away. In this case, the symptoms is, like, I'm just not happy with my life. Something is wrong. Something is happening. I feel like I'm on the edge all the time. I'm reacting strongly. My body is, like, it's alarm sounds, really, that are going off in the body. But, you know, at first glance, it feels like it's only a social thing. It's only a mental thing. And then as you kind of dig into it, you figure out that obviously, especially in her case, it was not just a mental thing. So yeah, I mean, that's one take on it. The other take is, like, the whole ego thing, which ego is a funny thing. Like, the death of an ego is a life changer in people's lives. It's a major point where you change your perspective on everything. Ego really stops you from so many different important things, like empathy, like listening, like, you know, not judging yourself too harshly, not judging other people too harshly. There's a humanity in the absence of ego. I think that's super important. And yeah, there's a point where it's like you got to learn how to let go of your ego. And that type of very strong psychological change happens in moments of crisis. I don't want to dive too much into it, but, like, in my case, my father passed away about 10 years ago, and that was a life-changing episode, obviously, for what it is of a death in a family, but also, like, it just in the way that I perceived of myself and how I interacted with the world from then on. It changed everything. So whatever your challenge is, ego's a real funny thing. And sometimes the challenges are big enough to have an effect on you where you kind of kill your ego and learn how to let go. So the song kind of addresses both topics simultaneously. Which I like a lot. And the sonically, like I said, I really appreciate it. It throws me back into the rock pop music, and I hadn't heard that in a minute, so I'm very happy, and I like it a lot. So I'm definitely going to go back to that one. That one I really have a particular affinity for. Chat. Okay, I'm sorry. I know I talked a lot. What have you guys been saying? Burden of an Empath is my interpretation of her lyric. Oh, gotcha. Okay, my talent isn't writing it or Ooh, there's one word I don't understand. It's feeling everything everyone else does. Got it every day. Yeah. Isn't songwriting or singing? There you go. Okay, that's the correction that I was waiting for. Rock Halsey is my personal favorite. As it turns out, it's pretty much my personal favorite too. I think there's something so natural that comes out for Halsey when she's in a rock element, whatever the type of rock, alternative rock or classic rock or grunge rock or whatever it is. Her previous album was a great testament to that. I love the song, especially the bridge. Agreed. I was really surprised because I feel like we're not always going to get a bridge, but like I appreciate that bridge in the song. True, I think this album delves into different facets of that. Yeah, I mean, I can't say yes because I have not listened to the entirety of the album, but I'm assuming so. It's probably going to be a major topic. And thank you. I appreciate it. It's part of life. Part of life. All right. Ego is done. Let's move on to the next one. Dog ears.
They said I have a universal blood type I can give to anyone in need, but only receive from someone exactly like me.
Whoa, what an analogy.
Trying to be positive, but oh, it's really hard. I'm a loner, I'm a loser. Won't you shoot me in the yard? Put me down like a lame horse, or send me to the farm where all the dogs grow.
Okay, we're really gonna have some heavy stuff tonight.
I've been a really good dog. Can I come inside? Yeah, I've been such a good girl. Can we go for a ride? I'm on a real short leash, but I like it tight. You know I'm such a sweet girl, but I can really bite. 'Cause my dog died last year. He fell asleep in my embrace, and the very last thing I told him was see you soon and we can race. You know a mercy kill is what I seek. I didn't ask to live, but dying's up to me.
Whoa.
I've been a really good dog. Can I come inside? Yeah, I've been such a good girl. Can we go for a ride? I'm on a real short leash, but I like it tight. You know I'm such a sweet girl, but I can really bite.
That is insane.
Well, they say all dogs go to heaven. Well, what about a bitch? What about an evil girl left lying in a ditch? Tell the 3 people who ask that I am in a better place with lots of trees and lots of grass and lots of chocolate cake. 'Cause I'm not old, but I am tired. I'm not strong, I'm very weak. I'm not old, but I am tired. I'm not here, I'm somewhere else. I'm not old, but I am tired. I'm 196 in dog years. I have seen enough. I've seen it all. I've been a really good dog. Can I come inside? Yeah, I've been such a good girl. Can we go for a ride? I'm on a real short leash, but I like it tight. You know I'm such a sweet girl, but I can really bite. Down like a lame horse, send me to the farm where all the dogs go.
Okay, so we're getting a musical outro. Okay. Okay, there's quite a bit to process with this one. To me, the element that really stands out from that track is the line, I'm on a real short leash, but I like it tight. There's two ways where I guess I'm interpreting it. There's one way where it's like being stuck on a leash, which is a bit like the feeling of being a prisoner of your own state of mind, a prisoner of your own body, which is, if you have limitations because something's happening, you're stuck in that environment, you're stuck in that context. You cannot go be better until you get out of that context, but you're stuck in it. You're absolutely stuck, so you're kind of running in circles. And then the other thing is like the whole I've been good, like it stems back to this idea of like I just moved to a place where I'm like a human being surrounded by like fake people. I've been good all my life. I've tried to do right by everyone. I've been the empath that we were talking about. Like, can I have one chance? Can I, for one time, feel good and be happy? Like that desperation coming out of the song of like, help me. Just I deserve it at least once. And also the self-pity in the song of like, I'm really down and I'm weak and I'm just whatever. That like deal with it. Like I accepted my fate. I accept my status. So that and then let's add another point, which is at the beginning of the song. So when she says, they said I have a universal blood type. I can give to anyone in need, but I can only receive from someone exactly like me. This is exactly how highly empathetic people feel. They can actually give their time and their ears to anyone. But because other people aren't necessarily as empathetic, like in reverse, she needs to find other people that are ultra empathetic like her to be able to be heard. Otherwise, it's always other people coming first. And so when I read that line, to me, it was an immediate analogy for empathy, the lack thereof on behalf of other people, and her immense level of empathy in her life towards other people. So yeah, I mean, lyric-wise, we are getting one hell of an artwork or art piece or just amazing piece, I guess. There's so many layers and so many things that I'm thinking of because of what I'm reading in the lyrics. Production-wise, once again, there's something so eerie about it. There's something so dark and all like off. Like there's many areas where in the song it goes off key, it goes off tune, and it sounds good because it's part of the context. It literally like it's meant to sound that way because you feel like something's off about it. So yeah, this is. I know technically I think the Grammy submissions are over. I don't know if the album made it, but I mean, so far, this is a great contender. Science is brutal. Oh yeah, well, I'm gonna hit the chat now. Science is brutal. It is. It's very cold and it's very factual. I didn't ask to live, but I'm dying. But dying's up to me. I know. This album goes to some really dark places. Brutal, but so well done. I mean, that's like what I expected from Halsey. Like this was going to be one hell of an album. There's a dog whining in the outro, which is very sad. Oh, I didn't realize it, but A, fitting, and B, so artistic. I think it's so important that she released this album for herself and for the physically ill community. 100%. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I hope she's feeling lighter as well. Also, the blood type is also literal. I think I wouldn't be surprised if it is literal, but like in the first understanding of it, to me, I immediately saw this image in my mind. Like, this is exactly how to describe empathy like for people that are empathetic versus non-empathetic. I took an anatomy class, and that's true. It would make sense with her medical struggles. Yeah, that explains like the difficulty in having blood transfusions amidst everything she was going through, and if you don't have enough blood, well, obviously you can't fight as well. Damn. It's not eligible for this year, but 2026 Grammy it is. Well, I wish her the best. Literally, I wonder what album she's going to compete with. If all the albums came out this year, she might have a really good shot at it in a year and a half. Anyway, okay. Enough about Grammys. This is not about that. It's about Halsey today. So let's move on to the next track. Ooh. It's a short track. I feel like we might be transitioning sounds, maybe, for this next part of the album. Maybe. Could be wrong.
Did he have a mom and dad? And do they argue just like mine? Did he have a little brother that annoyed him all the time?
You're going to get coming on that first part. You're coming while she's singing. Okay. Yeah.
Did he want to be grown up? Were there trees he liked to climb? Boy, I went to school with had leukemia at 5. Now his parents gave him everything. Never yell or fight. Never make him cut his hair because they're happy he survived. Didn't have to clean his room. It was enough to be alive. When I was little, I was jealous. So say a prayer.
Whoa.
Please God, I don't wanna be sick. I don't wanna hurt too many people with me. Please God, I don't wanna be loved. I wanna be somebody that they want
What?
to get rid of. Please God, I don't wanna be sick. I don't wanna hurt too many people with me.
Okay, hold on. I don't know where this comes from, but I don't know if it's like something she was thinking as a child. Like we have certain obsessions in terms of like what happens if I one of the I guess more common examples is like, you know, those children that say, I want my parents to be divorced because I'm gonna get twice as many gifts for Christmas. Like that type of scenario, but taken to a whole other level. Yeah, that's wild. I don't know what this is. If she wrote this after the fact of like, you know, I remember when I was a kid, I was asking myself this question or like whatever, or maybe like a poem that she wrote and she was inspired by something she found in her memory box or something. Because damn, that's some stuff. But and then I want to go back to the kid who had leukemia, which also touches upon what I was saying before. There are certain events in your life where you're, much like your ego, your expectations are changed. Your perspective on life and your standards and the way you perceive life is not the same. The bar changes. It's neither lower or higher, or sometimes it is lower or higher, but sometimes it changes altogether. And those are the events where you see it happen to other people and then you live it a certain way, or you have it happen to you and then you react a certain way. So I guess the example of a kid having leukemia at the age of 5 was her kind of like reframing of her quality of life. I can't believe how much content I get to talk about because of her album. This is incredible, by the way. Like, this is a true definition of an artist. They are thought-provoking. They are, they make you feel things. They make you process information. And I'm having such a great time doing that. It's not every album that allows you to do something like that. So I'm having a great time listening to her piece of art, her work of art. Okay, all right. Chat, what are you guys that have been saying? Or what have you guys been saying? We're going to be in a drought next year, I fear. What? Oh, okay, for the albums. I just realized all the letter to gods are all connected. Okay, so they act like, I guess, as sort of interludes in between sections, and it's going to be a storyline. Okay, all right. Now I'm really excited to get to them, even though it's probably going to be very dark. Yeah, she's singing from her point of view as a child in this one. The fact that a child wants to be sick because she wanted her parents not to fight and love her. Wild. The irony and the tragedy, definitely. Can't wait for the other letters to God. It will give you more of the story. Let's not hold on any longer, or hold off, rather. Let's jump into the next track. Oh, we are having a very different sound. We are moving on to a different segment of the album. Ooh.
My body carries sadness that my brain cannot yet see. And I've been holding on to memories in my stomach and my teeth. And both my shoulders have been burdened by the weight of my mistakes. And every time you lean in closer, both my knees can't help but shake.
The lyrics are so visual.
You're a danger to my health, or so it seems. Is it love or a panic inside?
Whoa.
Is a heavy heart too much to hold? I don't know, but it's late, so I'm taking you home. Is it love or a panic inside? Would you mind if I asked you on the phone? I don't know, but it's late, so I'm taking you home.
We're gonna have to have a conversation after this one. Oh my god.
To call the doctor, left a note on his machine. Because I tripped when we went walking, and I felt it in my spleen. Now I think I need a blood test or an antihistamine, because you make me fucking nervous. And I don't know what it all means.
What?
And I think you're a danger to my health, or so it seems. Is it love or a panic inside? Is a heavy heart too much to hold? I don't know, but it's late, so I'm taking you home. Is it love or a panic inside? Would you mind if I asked you on the phone? I don't know, but it's late, so I'm taking you home. My spirit has been broken. My optimism's getting sore, and I would love to love you, but my body's keeping score, and I don't know if I can see you anymore. Is it love? Is it love?
I mean, production-wise, it's beautiful.
Is it love? Is it love? Is it love or a panic attack? Is a heavy heart too much to hold? I don't know, but it's late, so I'm taking you home. Is it love or a panic attack? Would you
Ooh.
mind if I asked you on the phone? I don't know, but it's late, so I'm taking you home.
Wow. Okay. So, to be very, very honest, I relate to that song quite a bit in a way where I'm prone to anxiety two types of anxiety, performance anxiety and social anxiety. And I remember, I mean, it's gotten better with time, and like I've learned how to manage it a lot much better than way back when. But I do remember about a decade ago, like going on first dates, and literally my hands would be tingling from the anxiety. Like I would have a hard time breathing, and I would literally feel a tingle at the tip of my fingers. Because of the social anxiety and like the whole notion of like what are they going to think of me when they meet me? Are they gonna like me? And then especially back then where I was maybe having a little bit of a wilder side, like a lot of the times I would end up in a certain bed, I guess, either mine or not mine. Because it's something that I guess acted as like an escapism to avoid the overthinking and kind of go back to a natural state of like fight or flight or survival or whatever. But yeah, especially the anxiety and panic attack kind of aspect to it is something that I understand like 110%. And probably the context is a little different in this case where it's like, I feel like it's obviously not the meeting of a person. It's a certain relationship that's been kept up for a little while. And there's a blend between, that's what I'm trying to process. There's also, the song addresses to a certain extent, like her health issues and like how the anxiety, I guess maybe of the relationship, or the mental effect, when you're not processing it, when you're not thinking about it, when you're not taking care of yourself, transforms into physical symptoms. That's the how powerful stress is, especially overexposure to stress. So there's something about like the first verse where it's like talking about the pain and the sadness that your body carries, and it transforms into physical reactions. So I'm like, this song is about the toxicity of a certain relationship, and I don't know where or how the anxiety was triggered, but it's obviously in a whole ecosystem of things happening to Halsey in the last few years. That cannot help. Like that cannot make things any better. She literally had to call the doctor because it's so intense that you think something is actually wrong with you. Like, I guess we're being transparent tonight. I'm sorry, guys, you didn't sign up to be a therapist, but I guess I'm opening up. I was hospitalized once for anxiety. I was having an anxiety attack, and I was talking about the tingling at the beginning of my finger, but during that attack, I was tingling from head to toe. 100% of my body. I was like crisping in a position where I couldn't unfold my arms and my hands. And that's how strong anxiety and stress are in terms of creating a reaction physically. And so you think like, oh my God, I don't know, I guess at the time when I was hospitalized, my first thought was like, something very wrong is happening to me. I must have a brain tumor causing this, and I'm just going into this like shock. But no, this is kind of like the consequence of your environment and your context being processed in a very unhealthy way and not being taken care of. And over time, it builds up. And like I said, overexposure to anxiety and stress. And then you pop, you break. So this song, from a purely contextual conversation, 100% relate to and understand. And then sonically, I literally have nothing to say other than I love it. I love the melody. I love the production. I love the simplicity of it because it allows space for the lyrics to take the center stage and be what we focus on and understand what the song is about. So I couldn't have asked for a better track, to be honest. I absolutely love it. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I'm talking so much. This is not paid therapy. Okay, chat, what are you guys saying? She's singing from her point of view. The fact that child. No, okay, well, we read that. Panic Attack is so good, deserves to be a hit. I definitely see why. Sometimes you don't really know what you're feeling, and you confuse it with love. Yeah. Her Vivo Live performance to this is so good. I can't wait for the others this week. Ooh, I had seen one, I think, or two. I'm going to have to keep tabs on it. Your body doesn't lie sometimes, no matter how much you want to convince it otherwise. Yeah, love this one. It's a slight break from the other harder tracks. Agreed. Because I know, like, I've heard other tracks and I know what to expect in some of the upcoming sounds, maybe. So this is a nice little change.
Every couple of years now.
So I did react, speaking of which, I did react to the end. But now I get it in context.
Well, at first it was my brain, then a skeleton in pain. And I don't like to complain, but I'm saying sorry. When I met you, I thought I was damaged goods. Had a fucked up childhood, and there's poison in my brain and in my blood. If you knew it was the end of the world, could you love me like a child? Could you hold me in the dark?
Okay, now in context, I have so many things to add to it.
Was the end of the world, would you like to stay a while? Would you leave when it gets hard? So I ran into the clinic and I asked to see the man with his white coat and his stethoscope, like a snake around his hand. And I told him I'm not bitter, 'cause I finally found a lover who's better for my liver, and now I'll finally recover. When I met him, I thought I was damaged goods from a real bad neighborhood, so we wrestled in the mud.
Following up this song with the sound that it has after this one, the other one is like a perfect break.
But I don't know if he should.
It like it creates a journey sonically.
God destroys the flesh, then there's the flood. If you knew it was the end of the world, could you love me like a child? Could you
And another reference to child now that it's like positioned in the album. It ties to the letters, I think, to God, I guess.
Would you like to stay a while? Maybe we could build an ark. We could sail on broken driftwood through the sopping wet terrain and count the buildings and the bodies getting swallowed by the rain. And in the water there's a doctor who didn't listen to my claim. What a shame, he's circling a drain.
That there's okay. I gotta get back to this line, this part specifically.
But the joke was always mine, 'cause I'm racing against time. And I know it's not the end of the world, but could you pick me up at 8? 'Cause my treatment starts today.
So I don't know if the songs are like in chronological order, but if they happen to be, definitely that we just hit a breaking point physically in the previous track, and now we actually managed to find help to treat that breaking point. When I initially reacted to the song, I was questioning whether it was going to be at the end of the album, the beginning of the album, but it's kind of like almost in the smack middle of the album. which is ironic because that's not any place where I would have imagined a track called The End to be. But also that kind of highlights this idea that she hit the wall, like the end of going downhill and kind of maybe going uphill from here a little bit, possibly. And then the other thing that I wanted to mention was like the line in the water, there's a doctor who didn't listen to my claim. And it's so ironic. There was a funny coincidence. Yesterday I was with friends of mine and we were talking about literally different cases where doctors were not listening to their patients. They were, for some reason or another, just treating them like they're part of a machine and just like processing them and not caring about the human. And it reminds me of that famous scene in Grey's Anatomy where Dr. Bailey, I think it was her throwback episode as like when she first became, she joined the hospital and she was, I don't remember all the names and details, but like she was following somebody else for her not internship, but like training. And the reason why it really just marked me was because she uses the term supercilious fool, and that's how I learned about the word supercilious. But she was talking about looking at the person holistically and like taking care of them, asking questions about their, like, taking into consideration diet, past things, and not just treating a symptom, but treating a cause. And how there is such severity in doctors not paying attention to patients that are speaking out and saying that, like, I feel wrong, I know myself, I shouldn't be feeling like myself. And so many people are easy to prescribe just medication or whatever, or just ignoring the patient. So anyway, that was a funny coincidence that this is being brought back as a theme, considering I had a conversation about it yesterday. And other than that, what did I want to say? I'm talking so much. I apologize. Yeah, no, it's... I mean, the reference is to child, which we've had a couple times in the album already, and I'm assuming that the Letters to God are gonna maybe refer to it again. And yeah, it's a part... The whole, like, physical health influence on this album allows this project to take some massive, like, level, or I don't even know how to say it, but like it makes it so much more intense and deep and personal and important. Like, these are all, obviously themes that you find in your day-to-day, but it's magnified under the circumstances of health issues. So it's crazy to me to listen to an album like this. It really feels like we get this. I don't know. I know I said it before, and I'm sort of repeating myself, but it feels like a work of art. It's incredible. Okay, I'm gonna stop rambling on and have a look at chat. All right. So what have you guys been saying? I don't relate, but it helped me visualize that feeling. Maybe you're talking about the anxiety thing before. The song is Panic Attack with a sadder melody and instrumental. This really hurts. Yeah. The song was initially titled The End of the... I'm not going to say that, but the effing world. But I think the end frames it in an interesting way. I 100% agree with that. Definitely. We love a good share. A lot of people don't discuss personal health issues in music, and it's a pretty important, and it's important and traumatic. Traumatic, obviously, like anybody, but like it's an important conversation to have. I think there's a big trend for transparency, like over the last decade. Like we used to, I don't know, I guess picture like celebrities and that whole world in a glass box, and it's being broken down step by step. So, thankfully we're talking about it more and more, but it complexifies everything. It sucks because you're at such a vulnerable state in your life when you live that. So, Anyway, okay, all right. Let's move on to the next one.
And every time I hear it, there's something new that I haven't heard it so many times, and just feel something on a song. It's not bad, it's just watch the movie over and over again where you have to watch it the second time after you see it once. And it's hard right now because there's not a lot of people that know it. My family is very little. My friends don't know much. Everyone wants to feel good about it, but it's all over himself.
My son is almost 3. He used to look just like his dad, but right now he looks just like me.
Damn.
And as far as I can see, the fruit I bear is sweet. But the apple's rolling real far from the tree, and falling down the hill, so full of love and so carefree. I wonder if the world will treat him any better than it treated me. Well, Papa, don't you preach. I try to teach him every day that nothing good is free, but oh, it should be. And with my roots above and all my branches down below, please tell my boy I love him so. Please tell the world I have to grow before I go. And I just wanted you to know that I believe in magic and I believe in sin. I still believe in heaven if they'll never let me in. I started to believe in love the day I met my little twin. I think I might start trying because I haven't been. My mama's getting old. Well, it's contagious and you catch it like a cold. She won't admit it, but it's something that I know. 'Cause every year that passes for me passes her 100-fold. Back in the day, my dad and I would share a laugh at all of her mistakes. But that alliance didn't save me from her fate. No, I didn't last till 28. Became a single mom, just crushed under the weight of a child growing faster than I think that I can take. I love him anyway. I remind myself a time will come when he sees me turn gray and realize it's too late, like I did with my mother. So now I tell her to her face. With all my roots above and all my branches down below, well, please tell my mom I love her so. Please tell the world I have to grow before I go. And I just wanted you to know. I believe in magic and I still believe in sin. I still believe in heaven if they'll never let me in. I started to believe in love the day I met my little twin. And I might start trying because I haven't been. I haven't been.
You know, life works out in a very funny way. I did mention earlier in the stream that basically today I had a baby shower, and it was for one of my best friends. And at the baby shower, so we're a group of 3 best friends from high school. So we've known each other for almost 15 years now. And for the first time in almost those 15 years, our 3 moms got together. They knew about each other. They had news about each other all the time. Like, we would like take news from our friends to our moms, from our moms to our friends, and etc. But they had never taken the time to see each other. And the whole like theme of being a baby shower because our friend is pregnant, and then the gift, like the idea that, and I probably won't live it, obviously, because I'm a guy, but like the understanding of how it is to be a parent only when you become a parent yourself. Like the you understand what your parents did for you only when you're in a situation where you have to do the same for somebody else. And this song is a beautiful testament to that, and how you realize that, hey, where I am today stems from somewhere else, and I should maybe call my mom and say I love her, or like thank her, or things like that. So it's such a beautiful statement of generational love and appreciation only once you understand and you live that cycle. Damn. Okay, so so many song references. Yeah. The whole album feels like her saying goodbye to her family, friends, and son. It does to a certain extent, but there are many moments where we find the love, the feeling of like appreciation, like especially this one, but other ones before too. Of just like, hey, like I'm here, and just know you guys know I love you. Her child in the background makes this so much more. Agreed. There's a beauty of it, a lightness to it. She started writing the song when she thought she was going to die soon and not even be able to put it out herself as a goodbye, but then wrote the second half when she realized she was going to live for her son. Makes sense. Yeah, that just makes so much sense. Yeah. I don't know what else to add to that. It's beautiful. That's one of those like songs that you just can't touch. You just gotta appreciate it for what it is, and it just, yeah. All right, let's move on to the next one. Ooh, Letter to God.
I left home and moved to Brooklyn, where my boyfriend had a place, and he had track marks on his arms but had the most angelic face. I watched my friends die before 21, and now I'm 28. I'm at the doctor's every day because I can't stop losing weight, and now I'm the one with the needles in my arms and in my legs. I'm making jokes about the blood tests, and I'm planning my estate. And I don't wanna blame a child, but I have to speculate if this could all just be an answer to those prayers that came delayed. Because I never would have said it if I knew I'd have to wait until the moment I was happy. Then it all disintegrates, and I'm singing, please God, I don't wanna be sick. So get
wow.
it quick. Please God,
what a reversal of situations.
Be somebody that you're trying to get rid of. Please God, I don't wanna be sick, and I don't wanna hurt, so get it over with quick. Please God, I wanna be loved. I don't wanna be somebody you're trying to get rid of. Thank you.
And I love how, because I'm looking at the track listing right now, and basically every one of those letters to God are each from a different decade, and we're getting different sounds that kind of reflect those decades at the same time. Like sonically, this matches the concept of like the visuals that we've been getting. So I don't know if that might have been exactly where the inspiration came from, and that was transformed into what we got as like social media content. But yeah, we're kind of getting this evolution in, obviously in age, maturity, the way of thinking and the approach to it, but we're also getting an evolution in terms of sound in like decades, which is very interesting. This is such a well tied together album, especially so far. I love it. I love it. Yeah, so real and really, really raw. And I mean, we're gonna have a lot of, but I know that at face value, the songs really sound sad, but to me, they hide a lot more frustration, a lot more liberation than they actually are sad. It's the art of letting go versus the art of hanging on, which is beautiful in a way. It's a testament to life, literally life or death. So I don't find it as sad. I find it deep, and that's a very major nuance. The fact that she says that her friends died before 21 because of the needles in her arms, and now she's the one with needles in her arms keeping her alive is so sad. It is. Oh, yeah, for sure it is. But I don't know, it's a way, it's a perspective. It's a change in perspectives. And it's a life lesson. I'll be honest, I didn't understand what the years meant. That makes sense. Well, I guess, yeah, we all have our strengths. I guess mine was processing that piece of information in this case. Or I think that's what I suppose. But, yeah. Okay, all right. Enough talking. Next one. Hometown.
I'm playing the drums, right? Okay.
Davy died in the summertime in a hot box car with a seatbelt around his neck and a needle in his arm. We would smoke out in the parking lot
Yikes.
behind convenience shops. I bought a couple of grams of weed off him, but so did all the cops back then. The kids from all the county, we would walk out in the heat. Along the train tracks with our paper bags.
We're getting a lot of country influence in the last few tracks.
We picked the husband from the 100 men we knew, but I kissed a poster of a pop star and checked my breasts in case they grew. There ain't a reason on this earth I go back to my hometown. Somewhere in the clouds, Davy's running for a touchdown. The crowd appears and his mother cheers. He's waving from the field, and he's evergreen at 17 for the last 11 years.
Oh my god, 17. Like, she's writing an album from the age of 28, which is ironic because I'm 28. This is so messed up on so many different levels for me mentally. But 17 plus 11, 28.
Was a paradox to a lie. I didn't think that I was special, but I was too afraid to die. Like the others from my high school, all those sad suburban ghosts trapped in a cross next to a highway, while the rest of us get old. There ain't a reason on this earth I go back to my hometown. Somewhere in the clouds, Davy's running for a touchdown. The crowd appears and his mother cheers. He's waving from the field, and he's evergreen at 17 for the last 11 years.
Wow. We really took the little piece of information about needles and like explored that story as a chapter. That's crazy.
Getting yellow from the weather. And years will pass in science class, and I might forget your name. But when the crow's feet come, the kingdom come, well, you'll always look the same. There ain't a reason on this earth I go back to my hometown. Somewhere in the clouds,
okay, before we jump into the next one, this is the reason why people move. Like, sometimes it's to escape a reality that you don't want to deal with. And in this case, obviously, it's related to drugs, but like, there's some events that mark us for the rest of our lives and kind of prove why we made certain decisions. And this story definitely feels like it. And like 11 years later, she's still thinking about it. Like, I wouldn't go back to my hometown because that's what the reality was. And I moved out because I wanted a better life for myself. So that idea is beautifully put into a song. Like, it's honestly A1 for like music and lyrics so far. I might be speaking a little too quickly, but it might be my favorite album of the year so far. Definitely in terms of like songwriting. It might, because I usually do a score for each album, and one of the criteria is songwriting, to which I allocate like 10 points, and that might be the best songwriting I've heard so far this year. So, all right. So you guys have been saying the realities of living. Yes, we oftentimes think about those people we lost in the past, but now in the present that we think about it. Dolly Parton influences, yeah, definitely country sounds that we're getting. Hometown feels so happy, but the fact it's a callback to one of her friends she mentioned in a letter to God is so sad. And the fact she won't ever go back because of the people who died at 17 aren't there. Yeah, call it. It's not exactly the circle of life, but it's cause and effect. Yeah. Needles in around in her friends and her father. Yeah. Social pressures and generational family trauma. We are covering so much territory in this album. That's crazy. She said it's an out leaving her hometown and the survivor's guilt after her friend passed, and what it's like to go do things beyond their hometown that their friend will now never be able to do. Wow. I mean, it relates to what I was saying to a certain extent, but taking it even further of like the survivor's guilt is not something I can attest to. Like, I've never been in a situation where I've felt that, but I can only imagine, like, if you come from an area that was that risky, I guess, to a certain extent. And that's rough. That's really rough. She also said that the young friends that die live with us in a way. Yeah, but it's in the memories and it's in the life lessons and the values that they transpose to us and what they motivated us to do to earn a better life. Definitely. That's what people take with them. Okay. All right. Next. Let's jump. Oops. Wait a minute. All right. Ooh, so far the chords are maybe what I like the most.
It's a call for the ages. They couldn't save her. They couldn't save her. The surgeon said she had a hole in her heart, but it wasn't her fault. It was there from the start. Trying to love you through an open wound, 'cause everything I put inside there just fell right through. And I hold the parts together with some pressure and glue. And you're running in slow-mo to the hospital room. If you only knew how bad it hurt me.
I like the mixing on this one so far. The guitar that I hear in the back.
You can take the money, you can get on a plane to a beautiful island. Build a house in my name. You can donate all the money to somebody in pain. And you can rest your head down and not feel any shame. I never loved you.
So this is what she imagines if she had died. That's wild.
I never loved you in vain.
That is crazy.
They're sewing me shut, opening the doors and then removing their gloves, taking a long way to the end of the hallway. They couldn't save her, they couldn't save her. Told the nurses that we argued a lot, and you're rambling on about the last time we fought. You drove off screaming on the night you were caught. You left me standing in the parking lot. I took off chasing you down Route 22, 'cause you never listen, and I'm terrible too. You kept on.
There's some sort of build-up happening here that I like a lot.
If you stopped, I would've kissed you. So now you can take the money, you can get on a plane to a beautiful island, build a house in my name. You can donate all the money to somebody in pain, and you can rest your head down and not feel any shame. I never loved you.
Wow.
I never loved you. I never loved you in vain. Flash of light, heat of fire, head on concrete in the screeching of tires, sound of sirens, rush of pain. I almost thought I heard you call my name. So now you can take the money, you can get on a plane to a beautiful island, build a house in my name. You can donate all the money to somebody in pain, and you can rest your head down and not feel any shame. I never loved you. I never loved you. I never loved you in vain.
Wow. This one is probably going to rank very high in my ranking, if not at the top. Immediately, production-wise, gravitated towards it. And now, topic-wise, there is kind of like this fascination for death sometimes. And like, in some of the worst moments where you kind of don't want to be there, you do ask yourself the question, how would people react if I died? Like, if I wasn't there, if I just disappeared? Whether it's in your head you're just running away, or whether you pass away or whatever. Like, this is kind of like the song format of visualizing this alternate reality where you gave up and you caved into this not a fear, but this like dark thought of just like, yeah, I'm disappearing. And it's like, whatever. But that's the thing. She was going through so many different challenges and obstacles that it was almost like, yeah, well, whatever. If I lose, just enjoy it because I'm better off not in pain. And just do whatever you want with what we had left and take all the money you want. It's not worth it. I now feel better because I'm not in pain right now. So this is so whack to process, but also so good as a song. Like, I've never heard anything like that. Ever. That's insane to me. But I love it. Okay, what are you guys saying? About her, but not really. She created a scene in her head of a daytime medical drama where a woman comes into the ER and she's been in an accident and they're trying to save her and asks where her boyfriend is, and they say he's not there, but he's on his way, and then she dies before he gets there, and then he arrives and he makes excuses on the why instead of being sad, and plot twist, he was the one. I mean, yeah, it's creating the scenario in your head and imagining what if. It's really that what if And then you just like kind of make up this whole scene in your head. I mean, we have all done it. We've all imagined a certain scenario in our heads, just to like see how that would work out in your perspective of things. And that's I mean, one of the things that I didn't notice was like the hole in her heart, which obviously in this, taken literally, we're talking about like a health issue, but like it's also a metaphor for like she felt empty, out of love, like heart punctured, like she was hurt by the other person, and she had a hole in her heart emotionally and psychologically speaking. So like this is brilliant. This album is brilliant. I love it. I really, really love it. Such a great track with great imagery. 100%. Who hit her with the... Oh, he was the one who hit her with the car. Wow, I stopped reading. I apologize. I just went off into like thinking. And that's how he felt about her baby daddy. She felt about her baby daddy at the time. And we all get to know how he would treat her on other songs. Oof, okay. So it doesn't say we are our own worst enemies. Yeah, most times, yeah, because we make up those scenarios in our heads. I think it's a single. I don't know. Is it a single? Maybe. I haven't, honestly, I kind of stopped keeping track of singles sometimes just to make sure that I'm not surprised. Well, that I am surprised when I get to the actual tracks. She thought about that and was watching Grey's Anatomy. She said, and didn't I just bring up an example? Ooh, oh my God, I spat. This is horrible. Sorry about that. Didn't I just talk about Grey's Anatomy? Like referring to Bailey and how she started in the hospital. That's so funny. Yeah, I think it was a huge allegory for her being cheated on or something. That would make a lot of sense. It killed her in a way. So it's like she took that and ran with it. Yeah, amazing track. I loved it. I think that might take the top spot. We'll see. Darwinism, which that's gonna be something. Oh, okay. That sounds a little familiar. I don't know why.
There's lots of fish out in the pond, in the oceans and the rivers and in all the waterfalls. But if I'm made for land and not to see it all, could I crawl and find some kind Neanderthal? What if I'm from outer space, and I have fire in my bones and in my veins? I let it show and scare my suitors far away, leave them traumatized with visions of its glow behind my face. They say that God makes no mistakes, but I might disagree. And I outstretch my empty hand. I watch them build society, domesticated land. It goes according to the plan. While they're in paradise, I'm exiled in the sand. If everyone has someone, then the mouth just isn't right. And I'm the only outlier, the lonely archetype. If everything is by design, well, I might disagree. You all know something that I don't. You all learned something that I fear I'll never know.
Ooh, oh wow.
I fear I'll never grow. You all know something that
That is the ultimate feeling like an outsider.
You all know something that I don't. What if I'm just cosmic dust? Put me in a metal box that's bound to rust. Shoot me into space and leave me to combust. Return to Earth and just dissolve into its crust. And I was born all by myself. It's not unlikely that I'll die that way as well.
Whoa. This is the ultimate, like, what am I doing wrong track? Like, will I ever get it right? What am I missing that I just don't see? This is, yeah, the track is 100% that. And Darwinism is the theory of evolution, right? So it's all about this idea that other people have evolved in a certain way and are maybe dealing with issues that they're not dealing with issues that I have. What did I not evolve in, or in what direction did I not evolve that causes me to be dealing with this? And it speaks to like a bit of like the death of the ego, a little bit of like the whole like coming of age / the 20s being a very weird time in your life. Also kind of wanting a better life for yourself. Obviously the struggles that she's been facing. This is a great, I mean, maybe not sonically my favorite, but it's good though. I'm going to say that. But in terms of message, it's a very, like, taking a step back and processing everything and just questioning things. Like, what? Why? Like, yeah. Songwriting. Lyricism. At its peak. That's a wonderful album. Yeah. Okay, all right. So, hold on. Let me go through. I think Darwinism is very Bowie-inspired with the ambient noises and introspective lyrics. I love it. 100% agree. There's no marker for this section, but we are in the 90s now, sonically starting with Darwinism. Noted. Honest, I need to go. I'll finish watching this later. Actually, I'll stay for this. Well, if you need to go, I'll be available. I'll come back. Don't worry about it. The videos are going to be posted soon too, so like, don't worry too much about it. And we've had, knock on wood, some form of wood, no issues with copyright, so we're good. One of my favorite tracks as well. Wait, hold on, I missed a step. This is my favorite, haunting the imagery and the metaphors. I mean, from a writing perspective, some of the best writing on the album. Yeah, for sure. Halsey said the song is for neurodivergent people. They say that it feels like everyone else knows how to be a person except me. Ah. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Also, my nerdy side is obsessed. One of my favorite tracks as well, to be I relate. Oof. I'm sorry that you relate. But just know that we have more in common than differences between us humans. Never forget that. As a neurodivergent, I think the album is very relatable. We care so much about the world, and it's not reciprocated a lot of the times, and are only seen for our differences. I'm not part of that community, neurodivergent, but I have been a part of many other communities that are seen as the other community, or I've been seen as the other person from the group. So I understand that, and just know you're not alone. And see, we can all make something of ourselves if we want to. It's never going to stop us. Being different is also a superpower, and the collection of differences makes us greater than the sum of our parts. That was very... Anyway, I'll move on. Not being neutral, but just feeling like an outsider. Yeah. Draft of a Spider is related to this lyrically. Okay, noted. The blood type lyric at the previous part of the album also got me for a neurodivergent angle. Ooh. Yeah. That makes sense. All right, okay. That was track 11. Let's move on to track 12. Lonely is the Muse, which I have listened to before and reacted to, so you can watch that music video, that YouTube video if you want to. But here we go again. Which now is crazy, because in the context of the album, she was talking about like being born alone and dying alone. And then Lonely is Muse. Wow.
Decade of my efforts disappear. I'm just waiting at the bar, and you rip open all my scars by saying something.
So this is referring to her ex that we might have been talking about at the beginning of the album. Could be. But she would be faking it if you fit perfectly for someone, because you're fixing yourself for that. And that's why it feels lonely, because you keep putting on masks for other people, which is not your true self. In the context of the album, this is wild. Yeah, diamond singles and albums.
I'll call you in the night. I will exist in every second just to decorate your life. And when you're done, you can discard me like the others always do. And I will nurse my wounds until another artist needs me new. I will always reassemble to fit perfectly in view for anybody that decides that I'm of use. Lonely
I think, you know, in the context of the album, I was pretty dead on when it came to the meaning of the song, but it just takes another level of depth when considering everything that we've been talking about before and adding this to it. There's a part of it, of the song, where I think the whole notion of feeling different and feeling lonely and just rearranging yourself for the parts of life that want that from you, when you're already, you know, it's kind of actually funny when you think about it. You're already being torn apart because you're unhealthy, you're dealing with situations in your life, but then you have to break yourself into other parts to be able to fit the mold and work. And you just keep breaking yourself over and over again, whether you do it purposely or not purposely. So this is wild, but maybe a more common of a feeling than we think, or because we don't talk about it as much. And yeah, that's... yeah. Okay. Let's go to the chat. Love Lonely to Muse. It's so good. I love it. It's a great song too. From the disability community, so I understand. That's. You know what? I'm not going to say sorry, but I will wish you the best of luck in that line of life. And y'all are so sweet. I'm just trying to send all the love back to you guys. All right, the song is about all her exes, I feel like. She's just always felt alone and used. So yeah, her baby daddy is also included in that. And she's just pissed and sick of it. Yeah, but also sick and tired in many ways. She's sick and tired of being sick and tired. The lonely archetype she sung about on Darwinism, yeah. And all her artists being, all her exes being artists. I can't wait for the Viva Live version of this. I wonder if she's gonna do this, like the hard vocals at the end, if she performs this live, because that's gonna be demanding vocally. Okay, the next two songs are about her baby daddy, by the way. So get ready for noted. Reassembling herself fits with the album title as well. You know what? Yeah, I hadn't realized. I relate just not with the romantic relationships. That's okay. I'm honestly, if you related to the whole album like that, depending again on the level of deafness that you relate to, that might not be the best news ever. So I hope not. I hope you have better luck in relationships, which reminds me of another little funny personal anecdote. My family and I have this ongoing joke of, like, in my life, when career goes well, personal life takes a turn all the time. I can never seem to balance both. It's always like personal life is doing well and then work is not doing well, or the opposite. So we all have our struggles. I'm just a human, just like you guys are. You might see me on the screen, but we all have our struggles. All right, anyway, next song, Arsonist. And she did talk about burning in Darwinism, like the Darwinism before.
Arsonist, burning down the world to feel its heat. The arsonist doesn't feel the embers on his feet. And arsonist, your human starter kit came incomplete. My apologies, arsonist, you loved me.
Whoa.
I'm glued to a building that's on
Wow. We are addressing the other end of the spectrum when it comes to empathy. I'll come back to this.
Horizon into hell, and you smothered out the glow I grew for you, but it was mine too. Arsonist, burning down the world to feel its heat. The arsonist doesn't feel the embers on his feet. Arsonist, your human starter kit came incomplete. My apologies, arsonist. You loved me. Alchemy's not love, it's playing God, and there's repentance paid for. Entering a temple like a fraud in your charade. You leave me sleeping in the dark so you can hide away your blade, then lock the door and trap me right here in the blaze. Arsonist, burning down the world to feel its heat. The arsonist doesn't feel the embers on his feet. Arsonist, your human starter kit came incomplete. My apologies, arsonist. You loved me. Have you ever burned your throat down?
Oh, wow.
Have you ever been worried that if you just not get burned off in a sack, you know? Have you ever given the world to somebody as a gift and had it returned, you know? And that's your wheat and your red. Did you know the father's DNA stays inside the mother for 7 years? Have you ever waited 7 years?
Well, I've learned something today.
Woken from a dream just to realize that you were still asleep. Do you ever wish you were still asleep? Do you ever wish you wouldn't wake up?
Okay, so I'm gonna say basically a narcissist will literally burn down the whole world around them because they're not getting what they want. And that often comes in and a form of validation, mentally, emotionally, psychologically. So what they do is they just burn down everything. They just react and they attack other people because they don't have. We often say it's attention, but it's really just that element of validation. And when you're dealing with a narcissist that does not know how to control their impulses and does not know or are aware that they're a narcissist, there's no way to win. You feel stuck inside that building that's caught on fire and with no way to escape because there's no way to win against them. The only true thing you can do with a narcissist is to walk away and just close the door on that and not come back. I'm assuming this, like we talked about it, is probably because like relating to her ex, which highlights why it was not a healthy relationship. Now we're getting the explanation as to what happened. There's no way to win, and it's so funny because that's exactly the two ends on the empathy scale. There's one end where it's you have too much empathy and you're not able to put boundaries and to be healthy towards yourself. And then on the other end, you are void of empathy. You're filled with apathy, and you just absorb all forms of empathy around you like a black hole because you just crave that all the time. You want to be the center of the universe, and you will literally explode and burn down everything if it doesn't go the way you want it to go. So I'm obsessed with this. That idea of an arsonist like causing mayhem in life, burning down everything in a fit, in a fight, because they're not getting what they want, and then you're still stuck dealing with the residue, no pun intended, of the person inside of you, psychologically speaking, is insane. Is insane, really. I feel like I'm reading a novel to a certain extent, and I'm decoding all of the stories that I'm reading within that novel, or the chapters. Okay, all right. Chat. I need more Halsey screaming. Metal Halsey is a vibe. It is. I think this might be my favorite. Her ex's name is Alev, which means flame in Turkish, I believe. Ooh. Whoa. Okay. And I don't blame her. My mind has been blown a lot throughout this album, but this reached a whole... another level. It's lyrically so complex, and I'm still in shock. I'll need to check that. I'm surprised I didn't know that. Oh, okay, probably regarding the name. The song blowed me out of the water, if you're... Oh, that song was some deep... I'm not going to say it. I'm trying to be very good with my words. The next one is actually the saddest one. It's a draft because she couldn't sing it again, so they just left it how it was, and she sang it in her bathroom, and it really does show what her ex did. Okay. Still can't understand what that fact drop meant. Probably that even though they're not together, he'll be with her for a while, and that's haunting. Yeah, okay, well, there you go. I know. You have an explanation. It's, that residue is going to live in her for 7 years, and it plays also it's a metaphor for also the mental and psychological impact of someone's behavior on you that it takes a long time to get rid of. That's brilliant. That's brilliant. Okay, next one, which now I'm a little scared of. Life of the Spider.
It's 4 in the morning and I'm laying with my head against the toilet seat.
Okay.
For several days now I've been living here, too tired to sleep, too sick to eat. I feel like a monster, and it doesn't help that you will treat me like I've got the venom in my teeth. 'Cause I'm the spider in your bathroom, I'm the shadow on the tile. I came for shelter from the cold, and I thought I'd stay a while. I'm only small, I'm only weak, and you jump at the sight of me. You'll kill me when I least expect it. God, how could I even think of daring to exist? Looking just like this, I'm hideous. I'm nothing but legs, they used to say. I'm nothing but skin and bones these days. You dangle me high over the drain and tell me I'm lucky you don't drop me there and let me wash away or put me on display by trapping me forever between a glass and a dinner plate. 'Cause I'm the spider in your kitchen, weaving webs through every year. And I worked real hard on the last one, but the makes you curse. I should be getting better, but I'm only getting worse. And God, how dare I even think of choosing here to die? 'Cause then I'm just a problem that you have to take outside. And I know you hate the sight of me. I haunt you when you're fast asleep. I've got 8 legs, a million eyes. If only I had 8 more lives. 'Cause I'm the spider on the ceiling and you're nothing but a guy. You don't like it when I cry. You would break me if you tried. And you will, because I dare to be alive.
There's something about the song and how, first of all, in the performance of it, I understand why it could not be re-recorded from what was recorded in the bathroom. First of all, the context of the song, like referring to the bathroom itself, but also there's something that sometimes there's one take, and that one take just cannot be redone. There's something about the vulnerability in the song and the performance of the song that just could not be reproduced in a studio setting. So that explains why it was left the way it was. And then storyline wise and the content of the lyrics, it's like, it's sad for Halsey because clearly where she was being seen as a creature, and I don't know if it's because of all of the health issues, but it was the unreciprocated love of like, I feel like you look at me like I'm a freak, and for somebody who's supposed to love me, you have conditions as to how you love me. So you're looking at the parts in me that you just don't want and you would never accept. But that is rejecting me as a whole and looking at me in a different lens. It's like, it's so sad for her. Like, nobody deserves to be treated that way. But hey, I guess that's what happens when you're with a narcissist. Like, visually speaking, everything she describes in the song is so strong, and she is being extremely vulnerable. I'm trying to go over the lyrics visually. I mean, we could go on and on about it, but yeah, I think the bottom line is it's like, you know, kind of the transforming in, like the Jekyll Hyde situation, where in the context of her struggles and her life, she became I said Hyde, yeah, I don't remember which one is which, but anyway, she became the monster in the night, and then she was, well, not literally a monster, but the worst of her came out, and this person looked at her and said, I don't want that. I don't like this. No, that's not for me. And that, when you trust people that you love and you are told and being handled like that, is the most heartbreaking thing ever. So yeah, what a track. What a track. Yeah, sorry they kind of cut in the middle of my stream. I don't think she's going to do it live, to be honest. That's not a song that she's probably going to want to sing live, and I'd be surprised if she does. And yeah, it's one of those, like, I remember, you know, it reminds me of Ghosting by Ariana Grande, that she said she's never going to perform live because they didn't even finish a song. They finished with ad-libs, or Demi, after her overdose in Dancing with the Devil, the start of the art of starting over, her song Anyone, and how it's imperfect as a song, but they kept it as is because it's so symbolic of where she was in her life at that moment. So, not the song itself, but like her vocal performance. Yeah, there's something so vulnerable about it that just, once again, can't be touched. It just has to live the way it is, and we are just in awe of it. That's about it. All right, let's move on to the next one. Oh.
My dad is almost home, I can't tell time yet, but I know because the air becomes electric and my mother cleans the stove. You'll walk in through the door and both my eyes will find the floor, and I will search my brain to find something I might get yelled at for. He'll come in with a frown and tell me sit your ass right down, or he might get his kicks from joking that he's just playing around. And in a few years I will leave, but I'll perpetually believe that any man who says he loves me is hiding something up his sleeve. Wash me in the water, you can cut off all my hair. And
Wow, the production is really interesting. The choice of instruments.
the weather, but I'll never be like him. The other girls date older guys and wear their t-shirts late at night, but everything I own that's oversized belongs to me, it's mine. And I don't have souvenirs of all the earliest of years. You know, my father isn't dead, but it don't feel like he's still here. It's strange now that he's gray and getting older by the day, and my eyes tell me that he's harmless despite what my heart has to say. So maybe just forget, maybe move on, don't regret, or maybe this is just another trick that hasn't happened yet. Wash me in the
Ooh, the production on this one, though.
cut off all my hair, and I'll be changing like the weather, but I'll
And then the next one is Lucky. Oh my god, like so the sonic progression, like
'cause blood is
What?
thick, water is forever, and it's deeper than a board, lighter than a feather, and that girl will be a problem only if you let her in.
that's crazy.
Oh, but I can't forget her. Thought that it was my fault, and now sometimes I still do. It didn't chase me through the park, so now I'm chasing after you. But I can't keep up the illusion or confirm your point of view. No, I can't bear to fake a smile when you walk into the room. 'Cause blood is thick, but water is forever, and I'm stiffer than a board, lighter than a feather, and that girl will be a problem only if you let her in. I left her back home, but I cannot forget her. Brush me in the water, you can cut off all my hair, and I'll be changing like the weather, but I'll never be like him. 'Cause blood is thick, water is forever, and I'm stiffer than a board, lighter than a feather, and that girl will be a problem only if you let her in. I left her back home, but I cannot forget her.
I gotta say, like, Hurt Feelings, it's definitely amongst some of my favorite on the album. There's something about it. It talks about. Hold on. Let me go back to the lyrics so I can reread. There's something about the generational trauma of things where you either stay in it or you leave. And we talked about leaving before, moving out of your hometown. This is another one where like you deal with things that are happening at home that are unhealthy, and you choose to leave something, a part of you behind. So yeah, Hurt Feelings is really just that song about like escapism from a childhood where you're not happy. You're not in a great situation, and you're kind of similarly to the previous song that she had, Hometown, she's reflecting on her upbringing and the elements that made her who she is today. So, I mean, that's musically it's one of my favorites too, I gotta say. But otherwise, like storyline, it's just you can do whatever you want to change as a person, but you're always going to be impacted by the way you were brought up as a kid and what you lived in your life. So yeah, that song was definitely about that. And sonically, we were getting that transition where we're heading into Lucky Now, which is more of a poppy sound. And I've reacted to that song as well. It was one of the singles that I reacted to. But yeah, let's listen to it again.
Everybody get in line and meet the girl who flew too high. Does it all just to be liked by strangers that she met online. Did it all to be included. My self-loathing so deep-rooted in a child's unrecruited. Truth is I'm not suited for it. When I die, I won't have time to spend my money, but I hope that you stay with me. 'Cause I'm so lucky, I'm a star, but I cry.
But you know what? The guitar in it also fits still very well with the rest of the album, so there's a level of cohesiveness, even though we're very different. Oh, you're kidding. Okay, never mind. I thought my mic was muted for a second. Never mind.
And why she losing so much weight? I heard it's from the drugs she ate. And I feel her, but I can't relate, 'cause I never end up in that state. A girl like that as a mother must be tough. A problem child, I was rough. But what do you do?
It's crazy to overlap in references throughout the album. Like, we had no idea when we heard this.
But I hope that you stay with me. 'Cause I'm so lucky, I'm a star, but I cry. And my lonely heart thinking if there's nothing missing in my life, then why do these tears come at night? I shaved my head 4 times because I wanted to, and then I did it one more time 'cause I got sick. And I thought I'd changed so much, nobody'll notice it, and no one did. Then I left the doctor's office full of tears, became a single mom at my premiere. And I told everybody I was fine for a whole damn year. And that's the biggest lie of my career.
Wild.
But I'm so lucky, I'm a star, but I cry. And my lonely heart thinking if there's nothing missing in my life, then why do these tears come at night? I'm so lucky, I'm a star, but I cry. And my lonely heart thinking if there's nothing missing in my life, then why do these tears come at night? Haven't you heard?
And it ties into all those elements of like feeling like the outsider, being in a city where you're not the fake one, everybody else is fake, and you feel like you're the only human one. It's the like I said, the tie-ins are incredible on this album. And hearing the singles is one thing, but hearing the whole album together and understanding how the singles come about provides so much more life for those songs, like outside the whole commercial cycle. And it makes so much sense after so much pain and like the not guilt, but like self, I don't have the right word, but like, you know, just observing your own situation and drawing the parallels between things. Yeah, just it's I just have a whole other level of appreciation, as if I didn't have enough for Halsey. I have a whole other level for it, or for her. All right, so Letter to God, 1998.
Say, hello everybody. Hello, nice to meet you. There's a microphone. Tell us a voice.
What does mommy use the microphone for?
For mommy singing.
Yeah, for mommy singing. Who's your favorite singer?
Mommy.
Please God, or whoever you are. Please God, or whoever you are.
Oh, I like that production.
Please God, or whoever you are. Please God, or whoever you are. These days I get less calls, cause no one wants to hear my voice. I miss the days when I was getting texts that I could just afford. And I've been trying to be calm and not preemptively destroyed. I wonder who here really loves me or who wants to be employed. Every time I'm in the real world, I just end up paranoid. I stay at home all by my lonesome with my little baby boy. And I watch him on the kitchen floor. He's playing with his toys. And I don't ever wanna leave him, but I don't think it's my choice. So I'm basking in these moments where I feel a shred of joy. But I don't think my pleas are heard, because I'm screaming in the void. I'm screaming, please God, oh you've gotta be sick. Why do you make it hurt, and why is it
Those
over
melodies
so
remind me of Badlands a lot.
quick?
I don't remember which track specifically, but this part and the production too, to a certain extent.
Finally found somebody I don't wanna get rid of. Please God,
Wow.
is it busy out there? You took a little while to respond to my prayer. Please God, no, this doesn't seem fair. I'm trying not to show it, but I'm terribly scared. Please God, oh whoever you are. Please God, oh whoever you are. Please God, oh whoever you are.
Wow. That's literally an evolution of the stages in the album. That is crazy. It's just, it's kind of like when life forces you to take a step back and you learn to appreciate the little things in life a little bit. And I love that it follows like sonically. I'm gonna say conceptually, this album is outstanding. And the fact that we're getting sounds that match the different letters for the different decades, and that we have this evolution in the storyline. To me, this is such a highlight for the album, and something that so many artists can draw inspiration from, because this is what true artistry is at its core. That's amazing. That is truly amazing. Yeah. And also the feeling of like being scared of losing things that are good in your life. Like I'm getting a little bit of that, especially from the ending. Yeah. which now curiously leads us into the song of The Great Impersonator, the title track of the album. So I'm curious if that's kind of a recap of the journey or like what we're going to get from it. So anyway, let's jump right into it. Ooh, sonically it's also very different.
No one has to know.
Oh, the vocals are so different too.
Always hide, but sometimes it might get to me, the things on all their minds. Like they don't know I'm lonely, and they don't know I'm kind, or scared that I can't hack it with the current paradigm. Every single line, every single rhyme, every single truth I sing once started as a lie.
Whoa.
Promise that I'm fine, but then I redesign and put myself together like some little Frankenstein.
Whoa.
Does a story die with its narrator? Surely it's
Oh my god, that's breaking the fourth wall on eras.
Hope they spell my name right in the paper. And here lies the great impersonator.
Which is interesting because you kind of, when you write music and you have to perform it again, you have to put yourself back into the mental space that you were in when you created the song or had the idea for the song. So you kind of impersonate the song when you're not exactly in that situation anymore.
Crash in a pile of broken glass. It's funny how it looks like glitter from the overpass. I'm in a pickup truck, the door is stuck, I'm sinking in the water, and the girl inside is waving, but the people just applaud her. This is a cry for help, calling for assistance, but you can't tell I need it when you're watching from a distance. Does a story die with its narrator? Surely it's forgotten sooner or later. Hope they spell my name right in the paper. And here lies the great impersonator.
And that's a wild way to end the album. Now I'm realizing we had more than just an introduction and a conclusion. We had a prologue and an epilogue of just taking a step back from the storyline and just from a more overall perspective and omnipresent perspective, just commenting the whole situation, really breaking the fourth wall and being like, so I guess that's it. I'm telling you your story, and then it's also kind of a comment, I guess, or a take on the industry of just like, oh, it's gonna be a thing for a moment, and then people are gonna forget about it and move on. Like, I broke myself into pieces. I told you guys about it. I'm putting myself back together again. I made some art out of it. You're gonna consume it, and then get rid of it. So there's this whole like cycle to it. It's like I said, it's absolutely breaking the fourth wall on the story of the album, and referencing to, at the end of the day, when I'm going through those problems, how will affect my tomorrow, the next chapter. If the story dies, does it die with its narrator? Do I just lose my voice because I've told my story? I don't have any impact anymore. And once again, like I said, she was when she goes back into those songs, she's impersonating those songs again, throwing herself back into the moments of living. But if she's healed for that from those stories, how does that feel? Does it feel fake? Does it feel real? They're my stories, but I'm not feeling those anymore the same way. So it's genius. It's absolutely genius. I love it. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. And I think, I mean, I've talked a lot, so I don't want to drag it on too long, but it's definitely among the top albums I've heard this year. I wonder if it's going to take the number one spot of the albums this year, in my opinion. There's something so beautiful to it. The cohesiveness, it's probably the most cohesive album I've seen this year. Story-wise, conceptually, even sonically. This is a whole other standard of albums, and it is impeccable. This is one album that you stand in awe and admire. There's nothing else to do with it. I really, 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 really hope that this solidifies Halsey as a staple in music, as a reference, as an inspiration for other generations of artists. Like, we got something beyond with this, and I appreciate it so much. This is truly, truly, truly a piece of art. And yeah, a beautiful project. Beautiful project. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna say. There's nothing more to add to it, and I've quite frankly already said quite a bit. So I'm gonna stop it there.